Hello everyone! Today I'm very excited to share with you my first Nars Spring 2014 video. In fact, this is my first Nars video, and I have fallen in love with the brand ever since I discovered how much I love the Radiant Creamy Concealer. I use the color Custard, and in general I've just fallen head over heels for some of the newest releases from the brand. So today I'm going to share with you some eyeshadows, cheek color, lip color, the whole shebang actually. So I'm going to give you all my thoughts on the Nars products that I'm using throughout the tutorial, but first I did just want to review some of the products as I usually do, and I'm going to start with the Narcissist eyeshadow palette. I ordered mine right before it sold out at Nordstrom.com on the preview day, and I've been playing with it for a few weeks, and prior to this palette I wasn't always a huge fan of Nars eyeshadows. My favorite duo is Violetta, and I have found that Nars eyeshadows are usually hit or miss, but I find that all the products that I'm going to share with you today have worked really well for me. So the Nars eyeshadow palette in Narcissist is probably one of the best large deluxe size eyeshadow palettes that I've seen in a long time. So everyone is obsessed with Naked 1 and Naked 2, but this Nars palette is super unique because it's a great balance of warm and cool tones, and it goes from a range of really light highlighter shades to really deep mattes, you know, dark brown, black. A lot of palettes tend to either have a dark brown or a black, but the thing that I love about this Narcissist palette is that it's really well balanced. It's very convenient to have all these colors in one palette, and you do get a fairly good amount of eyeshadow per pan. So I have a couple of the Nars singles that are in this palette, and I think a really great example is the Lassa eyeshadow color. It's a great alternative to straight silver, but I feel like my original full-size Lassa has a little bit more of a metallic finish. It gleams more, and it's also a little bit longer lasting. But if you use an eyeshadow primer with any of the colors here, I think that it's still a great bet. My favorite color is Fez, which is the metallic bronze that I'll be using today. It's the top center shade, and I think in general all of the colors here are really well done. So I highly recommend this palette, and I do have the Nars blush palettes from the past, but I do think that out of all of the Nars palettes that I own, I think the Narcissist is my favorite. So if you don't own too many of these shades individually, then I highly recommend picking this up, especially because it is still deemed a limited edition. They may or may not add it to the permanent lineup, but just to be safe, I do recommend picking it up now. You definitely get your money's worth. So long story short, it's worth the money and I love it. Now for the blush in Final Cut, there were 4 blushes released with this collection, and I may or may not still go back for the lightest cool pink. I forget what it's called, so do excuse me. This one, however, is Final Cut, and this one struck my fancy first. I am a big sucker for peaches because I feel like they work really well with bronzer, and I'm more of a bronzer as opposed to a blush kind of girl, so I always wear bronzer, but I don't always wear blush. So for me, Final Cut was a splurge, although it definitely paid off because I love this color. I think it does my complexion justice, and I accidentally put on more blush than I usually wear, but I almost always prefer a really light application of blush. But today I do think that this look suits the stronger eye a lot better, so I am glad to have Final Cut in my collection, and I think it is probably my favorite Nars blush. And last but not least, for the lips, I have the Descanso Satin Lip Pencil, and this was my very first satin lip pencil, or lip pencil in general from Nars, and I just think that they're so convenient because you can toss it in a purse, it doesn't take up too much space, it has a slightly glossy finish, but it's not messy, and it gives you some precision that a gloss can't always do. So this one is a perfect color for everyone who likes a peach. I'm very excited to share the Descanso with you today because I am focusing on a bronzy peach, really warm, smoky look today. So I decided to save these 2 for later to show you in other videos and tutorials. But now, without any further ado, let's begin with the tutorial. I'm going to begin by using a matte nude brown all over the lids. This is just going to clean up the eye, take away the excess oil and shine, and just give a nice clean slate for us to start on. This bronze is absolutely perfect. It is my favorite Nars eyeshadow, and I like to apply it with a flat shader brush. And I'm just going to pat this in the center of the lid. This dark brown is more like a black coffee color. It's very dark and very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. I'm just slowly adding a little bit at a time with a smaller blender brush. Now to clean up the edges here, I'm just going to use that matte brown that we started with. This matte eyeshadow is perfect for all looks, and I think it's a great everyday starter shade. Now I'm just going back and adding a little bit more of the bronze for that metallic effect. Now this step is optional, but if you would like, take an extra fluffy blending brush and really seamlessly blend that transitional crease color. Then using some more of the bronze eyeshadow, I'm going to line the lower lash lines. And now that I've touched up the outer corners with a little bit more Coconut Grove, I'm going to go ahead and line my lashes. And here is a quick look at the eyeliner Stila. This is the first time I'm actually using this Nars Eyeliner Pen. I purchased this for 30% off at the makeup show, so I figured I'd give it a try. And to finish off the eyeliner, I'm going to use my Nars Larger Than Life eyeliner in Via Veneto. I really love this Nars pencil because it is a mechanical pencil, so you don't waste any product sharpening it. Unfortunately, this one does run a little bit around the edges after 6 hours, but this is still one of the best eyeliners on the market. Now I'm applying a fresh coat of mascara before my false lashes. And before I forget, I'm just going to add a little bit of a corner highlight. I'm just going to combine a little bit of this shade here with a lot of this shade down below. And to complete the eyes, I'm going to use my favorite velour lashes in You Complete Me. And here are the eyes complete. I absolutely love this kind of eye makeup, so I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. So now here's one last look at the eyes. And finally, for the cheeks, I'll be using my Hautelook angled blush brush with a little bit of the Final Cut color. I'm going to add a little hint of peach to my already applied bronzer and just blend that on the cheek together. The Final Cut blush is actually so pigmented that I applied a little bit more than I had anticipated to anyway. So now you can see the full extent of the color. It's a fabulous blush. And now for the lips, we have the Satin Lip Pencil in Descanso. And I've really been liking these pencil forms. I actually bought a couple more recently, and this one is from the spring collection, so it matches with the Final Cut blush. And I'm wearing a little bit of Clé de Peau lip balm underneath, but I'm just going to place it on top since I do find that the Nars lip pencils do better with a balm underneath. As you can see, it's a really great peach. I love that it's not too bright, not too orange, not too pumpkin, and I think it's one of the best Nars satin lip pencils. So if you can find colors that work for you, it's a great product to invest in. And just because I'm a gloss girl, I'm going to top with a little bit of gloss. As many of you know, I've been wearing the Stila Lip Glazes quite a bit. I like them a lot because they are quite long lasting despite how sticky they are. And so I will go ahead and use the apricot color. And that's a wrap on my take on NARS Spring 2014. So again, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any questions about any of the products that I used, feel free to list them down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget, you can stop by my blog, thereviewer.com, to check out swatches of some of the products that I used in this video, including the lipsticks, the lip products, the eyeliners and blush, as well as some of the eyeshadows used in this look. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye!